with the song Don't Let Us Get Sick. We're going to hop over to Studio 2A in just a moment for a live guest, Bob Hanshaw. But before that, I have to tell you, support for KXCI is provided by Arizona Beer House, a locally owned tap room on Tucson's east side. Arizona Beer House specializes in craft beer, wine, and sodas with a special focus on Arizona and regional craft beverages. Featuring 35 rotating taps and one ever-changing daily special, Arizona Beer House also stocks more than 400 bottles to take to go or enjoy in the family and dog-friendly tap room located at 150 South Kolb Road. More information at arizonabeerhouse.com. Once again, this is the Sonic Solstice, where local musicians come bringing holiday songs, or songs that are not exactly holiday songs, but by 1 degree of separation, holiday songs, down to KXCI to perform live in Studio 2A. In the studio right now, we have Matt Milner, who is joined by Bob Hanshaw, who's bringing Hanukkah songs. Matt, whenever you're ready, take it away.
Thanks so much, Sophie. Joined by a longtime friend of KXCI and friend of the Sonic Solstice here, Bob Hanshaw, who has performed in a number of different iterations, previously with his group Sunbones, and he has something fun and original cooked up for us tonight. So what do you have in store?
Well, I've got 3 songs tonight, and I'm here with some of my friends from Temple Emmanuel and also other places. The first one is actually going to be a solo written by Sam Golden, who was my bandmate in Sunbones, who worked with me at Temple Emmanuel, and we go way back. So this one's called Oy Chanukah. Oy Chanukah, Ayontef Ashena, Alustika, Afrelicha, Nitonoch Azoina. Alle Nachten dreidlich spielen wir, so de Käselat gesetzt Onaschi. Geschwinde singt Kinder, die dienen lichterlich on, singt alle Hanisim, Leut Gott fahren in Isim. Und kommt ihr tanzen in Korn. Oy Chanukah, Ayontef Ashena, Alustika, Afrelicha, Nitonoch Azoina. Alle Nachten dreidlich spielen wir, so de Käselat gesetzt Onaschi. Geschwinde singt Kinder, die dienen lichterlich on, singt alle Hanisim. Leut Gott fahren in Isim. Und kommt ihr tanzen in Korn.
You're listening to the Sonic Solstice. My name is Matt, live in Studio 2A, and we just heard an original Hanukkah composition written by Sam Golden of Sunbones and performed here by Bob Hanshaw. And I know that you've got a little bit of a reunion in the works for another project that you were in with Sam as well.
Yeah, that's right. Laura and the Killed Men, featuring Laura Kepner-Adney of, a dozen other bands. We're going to be performing at, I believe, St. Charles on the 23rd.
Excellent. So you're coming off of what was a very big undertaking.
That's correct.
And I want to hear a little bit about the story of the Hanukkah cantata.
Okay. Well, last January, I bit off more than I could chew, and approached the cantorial soloist at Temple Emmanuel, Marjorie Hochberg, with this idea that we could get the cantors and cantorial soloists from a bunch of synagogues in Tucson to all sing together at the same event. And then I also offered to write all of the music for such an event. Long story short, that occurred. It was with the help of the Southern Arizona Symphony Orchestra and part of their chorus, as well as the chorus members from a bunch of the synagogues that had a participating cantor. And there were 7 synagogues involved, and then 2 cantors as well, who were not, the main head of a synagogue, I guess, in that capacity. So there were 9 different cantors up there representing the 7 organizations.
And what was the biggest challenge of? I mean, I imagine there were a lot of challenges, but what was the biggest challenge of undertaking something that was that massive in scope?
I would say knowing how much time to budget, because every piece of the project took longer than I expected it would.
Sure.
Researching the texts, quoting from the texts even to get a coherent narrative for each song, writing the melody to each text, writing the piano accompaniment and the harmonization to each melody, and then taking and arranging the piano score for the orchestral version. I mean, in the last week or so, or 2 weeks, I was spending 8 to 11 hours a day sometimes working on that type of musical preparation so that the orchestra players would have stuff to play that I put in front of them at rehearsal.
So what do you have up next for us?
Okay, we have 2 selections from the Hanukkah Cantata. And first will be, and they're both traditional prayer texts for, singing in front of the Hanukkah candles. So I guess we're a little late on that, but,
People they have almost a year to be able to listen and memorize it so they can perform next year.
Yeah, there will be a test.
Yeah.
So the first one will be Hanerot Halalu. Thank you.
Bob, why don't you take this opportunity to introduce the wonderful singers that you brought with you
Yes,
tonight?
where are my manners? I should have done that earlier. Okay, so on soprano we have Sarah Bolt, who is cantorial soloist at Institute for Jewish Studies and Services in Saddlebrook, as well as does something or another like that at Congregation Or Hadash here in Tucson. On alto, we have Eliana Powers, Dr. Eliana Powers, who is a fantastic pianist and opera singer. And then on tenor, we have Andrew Cleaver, an old friend of mine with the voice of an angel. And I'm Bob Lopez Henshaw.
So I'm curious as well. One thing that I really admired about this undertaking, and I was reading about it a couple weeks back, was what a wonderful opportunity it was to bring together so many corners of the Jewish community in one collaborative project. Was that one of your goals at the very beginning, was that sense of fellowship and community that could come from an undertaking like this?
Yes, I think so. To my mind, there had been just in general too much rivalry, I think, or at least perceived rivalry between the different synagogues. The communities didn't have as much interconnectedness as I thought that they could. And so I was very pleased with how the event went, because people were coming up and telling me afterward, how much they had appreciated, meeting some of these people in some cases.
That's really wonderful. And do you think that it'll have a life beyond these performances from the past weeks?
That is the hope. I'm talking to some people who know, some people in different ensembles around the country, and even, if I'm extremely lucky, then we could have this produced in Israel, in a year or two.
Well, we certainly hope that the work that you put into this finds many ears and brings other congregations and other people together as it did here in Tucson. You've got one more song for us. What are you going to leave us with tonight?
We're going to do the finale of the Hanukkah cantata, and this one is on the prayer Al Hanisim.
ועל התשועות ועל הגבורות ועל הנפלאות שעשית לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה. שעשית לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה, כשעמדה מלכות יוון עמך ישראל, להשגיחם תורתך ולהעבירם חוקי רצונך. על הניסים ועל הקורגן ועל התשועות ועל הגבורות ועל הנפלאות שעשית לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה. ועל התשועות ועל הגבורות ועל הנפלאות
listening to the Sonic Solstice live in Studio 2A. We just heard some selections from the recently performed Hanukkah cantata. I was going to send it back to Sophie Gibson-Rush in Studio 2A. I'm in Studio 2A. You're over there, Sophie. How you doing?
Parts of one.
Well,